Mother Nature possesses innumerable resources that help human beings to live a superior life. Various elements of flora and fauna scattered in the forests are priceless assets of this universe. And of these, bees are the most fascinating social insects which live in colonies, helping us to maintain crucial environmental balance. In India, beekeeping is an age-old tradition. There is mention of beekeeping in ancient India in the Vedas and Buddhist scriptures. The beekeeping in India is mainly forest and agro-based and is generally seen on trees. Moreover, the bees do not require extra food for survival, and the raw material for honey production is rightly available in nature. Besides these, a beekeeper does not need huge space for beekeeping. In Assam too, beekeeping has been practiced in traditional methods from time immemorial. Government organizes training and awareness camps on scientific methods of beekeeping management from time to time in various places. Such a month-long training camp was held in Nikasi in Baska district of Assam. The camp, held from July 11th to August 9th, 2018, was organized by the Assam Science, Technology and Environmental Council in collaboration with the Green Environment Task Force and with financial assistance from Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. The camp was attended by local people engaged in beekeeping practice, including a few from outside Assam, such as Jharkhand. A lot of people, including students, were present in the inaugural function of the camp. It may be mentioned here that potential of beekeeping in Assam is about 4 lakh bee colonies, but in practice, we only find 46,233 bee colonies in the whole state. These are the chambers of a beehive. 1. Top cover. 2. Inner cover. 3. Brood chamber. And 4. Honey chamber. This is the top cover. This is the inner cover, and there is a net window in its center. This one is a brood chamber, and there are 8 or 7 rectangular shaped wooden frames. There is a gate for bees to move in and out, but the queen bee and the male drone bee cannot trespass through this gate. This is called the bottom board. When this one becomes old and unfit for use, then we replace this with 2 other smaller frames. This has to be done in October. This net is called queen excluder sheet, so that the queen bee can't come above this net. This one is placed here like this. The smaller bees can come out above this. It is called the honey store. This net restricts the queen from laying eggs in the top chamber. I have been interested in beekeeping since long, and I came to know about this camp in a newspaper advertisement. Then I applied and was selected. I am very happy to attend this camp, and I have learnt a lot. Now I shall use these in beekeeping and will also try to reach out to my mates. There are bees easily available in our locality, and there is scope for good business. I, therefore, have decided to take up beekeeping as a means of earning my livelihood. I will try to learn as much as possible and will also try to teach my fellow beekeepers so that all are benefited. We shall discuss these again and again. In order to become a bee from a mother's queen's eggs, the worker needs 21 days, drone needs 24 days, and the queen needs 16 days.
Beekeeping is favorable in areas of abundant bee forests. Before starting, it is important to know whether the area is favorable or not. The beekeepers should have to be driven by passion, who loves bees and having enterprising spirit. Our organization, Green Environment Task Force, is mainly focusing on awareness and promotion and to popularize scientific beekeeping among the small and marginalized farmers as a sustainable livelihood activity. Till now, we have mobilized more than 200 farmers into beekeeping. The Green Environment Task Force mainly focuses on indigenous wild bee species Apis serena indica than the commercial Italian species Apis mellifera.
Those blackish areas, these get unfurled, and through these the worker bees collect pollen grains and nectar of flowers, which is a rich source of protein in the diet of bees and older brood. Pollen is also essential for brood rearing and disease resistance. Baska district is a huge granary of bees, and therefore the people of this area can see tremendous economic development by means of practicing beekeeping. Wild bee colonies are generally found in the forest. A series of preventive measures have to be adopted to collect honey from these wild bee dorsata. Having located such wild bees, smoke is spread in and around the combs so that the bees flee away. When the bee hunter covers his body with thick cloth and bee veils in front of his mouth, it is followed by his climbing up the bee colony atop the trees and then to cut the honey portion from the combs with a sharp knife. Such squish honey are sold in the market, but these stalks are not at all hygienic. I sell at least 2 to 3.5 kilograms of honey daily. The buyers are mostly the villagers of the locality. The rate is rupees 300 per kilogram, and I earn a profit of around 40,000 to 50,000 annually. These are swarm bees, and these have gathered here from somewhere. The first thing of beekeeping is to collect these swarm colony in a scientific manner and then put them in specific boxes. If the entire stock of swarm colony cannot be collected in a single attempt, then the capturing net is put upside down and it is seen that the bees have entered the capturing net themselves. Now the capturing net is sealed and the whole stock of captured swarm colony is put in the chamber in a scientific manner. One has to be careful in this stage to ensure that the bees cannot fly away. A cloth has to be put on top of the chamber to restrict their exit. The gate is closed and the bees are inside the chamber. Then a brood comb is placed by the side of the chamber to encourage the queen and the workers to remain inside. We have to abandon the traditional method of beekeeping because it is less profit-making. This very means has been adopted to preserve the bees of the traditional hives by shifting those to a new or a scientific one. This new chamber is called nuclear hive. While shifting the hives, the combs contain honey, pollen and brood are tied to the wooden frames. As a result, this new or scientific beekeeping method will ensure production of at least 12 kilograms of honey per year in place of a maximum 5 kilograms of honey that was produced in the traditional method. The best period for honey collection is from November to May. Therefore, the beekeepers have to start the entire process in September and October. Assam is an agriculture-based state. Therefore, the unemployed youth can very well adopt this profession of beekeeping with low capital and to do tremendous business.
This wild beekeeping and processing training program, this 30 days program, is conducted by NB's Hub at Assam Science Technology and Environment Council. It is under the Green Skill Development Program being conducted throughout the country by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. Under this, the training programs are being imparted on different subjects which are environment friendly, and so that our new generation of entrepreneurs can take up some activities which are environment based and sustainable. Now this program is being conducted at Nikasi in Baksa district through one organization called Green Environment Task Force, and we are having participants from outside Assam also. And one unique feature of this that this is the only place in the entire country where training on wild beekeeping is being conducted and approved by the ministry.
As a result of such training on scientific beekeeping and also the awareness programs initiated by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, the villagers by and large have started to adopt scientific methods. This scientific method of beekeeping is extremely useful and advantageous. Some of the advantages of scientific beekeeping are that bee combs are not destroyed but are preserved. The combs can be reused. It ensures proper extraction instead of the crude extraction processes. The combs are not squeezed and so the honey extracted is found clean. No contamination of the honey. Increase in the honey harvest capacity up to 15 kilograms per year. It allows effective inspection to ensure livelihood of the bees. The colonies can be saved from dot period by sugar feeding, migrations and taking adequate measures against diseases, pests and enemies. 80% of the stored honey of the honey chamber must be sealed. Sometimes when the honey comprises more amount of water, then the honey stock has to be warmed by means of indirect heat. Thus, the quality control of the honey stock is maintained. This is the technique to handle the chamber. Just look at it carefully. This portion is a little dirty. This has been affected by wax moth. There is not enough space left even for the storage of produced honey. This is a typical example how the wax moth play the most destructive role to harm a beehive. It will be hard to find a better typical example than this one. Clean it nicely. Keep the cover on the ground smoothly. Now you have all seen how the wax moth destroys the bee colony. Now put the cover slowly and slowly. You should not place it so close to the wall. Specific distance should be maintained in placing the chambers. I always do regular inspection of the chambers. Bee chambers should be kept near the floral areas like orchards, vegetable gardens, plantation areas. Bees evolved with mainly wild flowers, but in a particular area will respond to best of its flowers. Honeybee does not feed on all flowers. They prefer some flowers for pollen and nectar. There are some flowers which possess both nectar and pollen. These may be called bee flora. Some of such bee floras generally found in Assam are Indian olive, tuberose, Spanish cherry, star fruit, master plant, etc. The bees collect pollen and nectar from most of the trees bearing fruits that we use and also from herbal plants.
Sugar syrup মানে আপনারা বুঝিবা কিবা
Do you know anything about sugar syrup? Generally, the dot period of bees starts in June and ends in September. During this period, the pollen and nectar are not sufficient. Therefore, for the survival of the bees, we use sugar syrup. Honey bees were fed with sugar syrup after the sunset. Sugar syrup is prepared with 50-50% preparation in dot period. But in the winter season, the ratio is 40% water and 60% sugar. The water and the sugar are boiled for 15 to 20 minutes. A physically weak bee colony has to be provided with sugar syrup to gain strength. This is how sugar syrup is provided to the weak bee colonies. Plantation of some specific trees, mainly floras, are necessary for the overall success in beekeeping. Here, a group of participants of the workshop are seen being engaged in such plantation under the guidance of experts. Now, I am going to extract honey from the honey chamber, and in doing so, it is necessary to spread a little smoke in it to ensure avoiding bee stings. We have also to see that the bees are not affected by this. Now, I have brought out the combs while leaving in the chamber as much bees as possible. Likewise, we will bring out all the combs one by one for extraction of honey produced therein. After that, we will use the honey extractor. First of all, we shall uncap the combs and then put it inside the machine. Then the actual honey extraction process begins, and it does not require any touch of human hands at all, so that the honey extracted becomes absolutely pure. This is the best process to extract honey.
It has been a period of 3 years that I am engaged in beekeeping. I was presented the chamber by an NGO. I get 50 to 80 kilograms of honey every year. These 4 items are necessary for making bee wax: comb, water pot, spoon, towel. Put it under the water. The honeycombs must be completely under water. This is how the produced wax is extracted. Here, the significant thing is that whereas the market value of honey is maximum rupees 300 per kilogram, the wax is sold at rupees 600 per kilogram. We shall now prepare the queen shell cup with the pointed top of this one. Just look at what I will do now. First, we dip the pointed top into the wax and then remove the caps from it. In this way, we shall prepare the caps.
Now we shall prepare the base. Let us heat the knife a little so that it becomes easier to extract the wax layers. The sizes are not exactly the same to each other, but anyway, let us heat the plate a little so that the queen shell cakes can be easily picked up. You have all seen these things in a practical in my class today. These will remain like this for 6 days. After that, we shall remove these gently and place it in just in between the wooden frames inside the chamber. Finally, it will be inflammable after 15 days, and this product is more profitable for the beekeepers.
Assam Science Technology Environment Council, ASTEC, under its ENVIS program, had organized a very successful 1-month course on wild beekeeping and processing. Very successfully, with 27 people from different background, mostly tribal areas, we did this program. And when I visited this program twice, the beginning and the in between, I was extremely happy to see that these people have not just come as a trainee to pass time. They have rather gone for their own vocation. They have collected the beekeeping box. They have collected all the information, technical data, and some of them are already producing honey bee. So I think as an organization, we have a role to play in society. We have some commitment, we have some responsibility. We must encourage skill development process. And therefore, in future, I would like to take up more such programs. What I have found in this course, you don't have to do anything. If you are not earning a single paisa now, you can earn a good livelihood, and a 4-member family can easily survive on this wild beekeeping process.
I have produced honey over 2 quintals. And I have more than 25 bee chambers. There are 3 stones under the water inside the bigger pot, and the smaller pot with honey is put on top of it. As the water boils up, the honey substances will be diluted gradually. The temperature of the water with honey will have to be between 62 degrees to 65 degrees Celsius. The honey substance has to be boiled for 20 to 25 minutes so that its density becomes as good as normal water. The white layers on the top are wax. The liquid wax is filtered and extracted separately. It has to be more diluted. India, according to a report, produced about 60,000 metric tons of honey, and 26,000 metric tons of it was exported to over 50 countries. The USA, Saudi Arabia, Canada, United Emirates, Bangladesh are some of the important honey importers from India. In Assam, the practice of honey production is increasing day by day. The most enhancing thing is common people's awareness about the offers to the people engaged in this profession, a great scope in generating employment besides a good livelihood, thanks to the sincere efforts by the number of government agencies under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in supporting the schemes in an effective manner, and also to bring in a massive awareness amongst the masses. I mean that you have to maintain this from day one. Keep accounts of all the expenses that have been occurred. Keep in record even the expenses in collecting honey, or also even if you have to pay rupees 10 to someone. When a product is manufactured, the first and most important thing is to ensure proper marketing of it. Then only the business will earn a fortune. These are for sale. I will collect the money after you sell it. There was plenty of joy and cheers by the participants at the valedictory function of the camp. The 1 month long camp in which you have learned so many things has come to an end today. I simply hope that you should share the knowledge of whatever you have earned with others too, so that the economic development takes the right course. All the participants were presented with participation certificates, and some of them were presented with awards for their proficiency. The ecstasy among the participants here before our eyes is not merely because of the celebrations on the occasion. It is mainly because of being trained properly in finer aspects of honey production by adopting beekeeping as a means of earning livelihood, to make oneself economically developed and self-reliant, and also to contribute in a big and bigger way to the overall economic development of the society and the nation.